You probably clicked on this video because you found a Samsung NX1 on the used market and you are not sure whether it's still worth buying in 2023. Let me go through some of the pros and cons of using this camera. Let's start with the pros. Like I said in a previous video, I find the NX1 grip to be one of the best I have ever used. What else do I like about the NX1? I like the autofocus in this camera. I find it really accurate, and with the newer lenses it's also really fast. I also like the image and video quality coming from this 28 megapixel BSI CMOS sensor. But I feel like some of the NX lenses don't have enough resolution to handle the 28 megapixels. I'm also satisfied with most of the NX series of lenses with their lightweight, compact design, yet they still perform very well. They might feel a little plasticky, but for me that hasn't been an issue. The EVF and the rear display feel responsive and quick. I also like that this camera has a micro USB port which you can use for charging, and there's also an HDMI, so you can use this camera as a webcam while powering the camera with the USB. Now let's get into the negative stuff. There are lots of small annoyances that I dislike about this camera. First really annoying thing is that you can't change the autofocus in video if you're using the viewfinder, which I often use. You can't use the shutter button to focus even in single AF mode in video. There is no video mode on the mode dial on this camera. If you want to change between stills and video, you have to press the left arrow. Now that you're in video mode, and if you accidentally half press the shutter button, it automatically goes back to stills mode. I switch to single AF, then I accidentally exit the video mode, and now that I go back to video mode pressing the left arrow, it's now back to continuous. I find this really annoying. Also, in video mode there is no way to switch between the display and the EVF. If you press the EVF button, nothing happens. In order to switch from the display back to the EVF, you first have to go back to the stills mode, then navigate to the EVF mode, then press the right arrow again, and that takes you to video mode. This is the longest focal length for the NX system. It only goes up to 200 mm. I really wish there was a 300 or 400 mm lens. Obviously, if you aren't happy with the NX lens lineup, you can always get an adapter like this one and use your manual focus lenses. The battery life on the NX1 isn't amazing. Even though I have 2 batteries, I am not confident that they will last for a whole day of shooting. Luckily, the Samsung battery charger has a USB port, so you can charge your second battery while you're using the other one. Even the expensive NX1 sometimes has the mode dial issue that I talked about in a previous video. The NX1 has Wi-Fi and NFC functionality, but because it's such an old camera, the apps don't work anymore. I use my FD lenses on the NX1 sometimes, so I would like to use the magnify function. You can only magnify the center area. You can't move around when you're magnified. So for the reasons I listed in this video, I don't think anyone should buy the Samsung NX1 in 2023.